Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Team Down TV's coverage of the BlasterX Cup. Obviously, we're here now heading towards the semi-finals, and we've had a bit of a roster change in terms of the casters. Obviously, going to be myself, Elfish Guy, joining you, and with me is going to be Mikester. So, good morning, or good afternoon, actually, Mikester.
Yeah, good afternoon to you too, John. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. We've had a little bit of a quiet morning, but now heading into things, and looking like the next matchup is going to be Control VP up against Project 90 Elites, who, for me at least, Project 90 Elites are an exciting prospect. I hope that we get to see a little bit more from them coming into the future, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because generally the sort of the run of the I don't want to put this in a bad way, but a lot of the time we've seen teams coming up like this, they haven't really lasted very long. So fingers crossed, if or at least that we can see these guys lasting another few months after this one, Mike.
Yeah, hopefully. Obviously, I think it was the last Arbitrate was the last team that we sort of saw in this kind of format.
Yeah.
I had Pixel and Matt CD and Dizzy in there as well, but hopefully, perhaps Destiny sort of brings a little bit of stability in there, but still quite a lot of big personalities in this lineup as well. So, obviously, Destiny and Gaza being pretty well established players, so perhaps they can teach the other guys a few things about sticking together and improving as a team.
Yeah, it would be kind of an exciting prospect, actually, at least for me, because I'm a big fan of Dizzy Life. Sort of when I started to get into the Counter-Strike scene, Dizzy was also sort of starting to become well-known, I guess. So I really liked watching him, and then he sort of fell out of the scene. And anyway, he's back again. So hopefully for me, at least, we get to see Dizzy and Destiny playing together on a team, because I think that would just be a really exciting prospect. I don't know if it's just me, but having two fraggers like Dizzy and Destiny on one team is kind of a big deal, at least, I think I would say.
Yeah, no, you're certainly right. There's quite a lot of firepower between those two, and I saw catching a little bit of the previous map from P90 Elites. Dizzy was doing quite well with the AWP, which he's obviously known for, and Destiny, his game sense is off the charts. It's probably one of the best in Australia, if not the best. So he's really such a lot of experience over the years, and that shines through in his gameplay as well. So.
Yeah, having a look at the map now, we thought we were going to be on Cobble, but unfortunately, at least for me, we're going to be on Mirage. I'm a big fan of Cobble, but it does seem like we're heading on to Mirage here. So should be a pretty interesting matchup. We actually have Buster as well on the side here of Control VP. So some, I guess, big names coming out into the later stages of this tournament, which is always interesting to see. We'll see how he goes up against, I guess, those big names like Destiny.
Yeah, that's certainly right. So I think Buster has got a little bit of international experience now as well, so that's always good for players to pick up that. You learn so much in such a short period of time when you go overseas, so it's good to see him come back and perhaps spread a little bit of that knowledge to some other players that aren't just within Legacy.
Yeah, and well, I mean, what are your thoughts, I guess, personally on that? You know, you've been overseas now, famous esports commentator Mike Star.
It's not the first time I've been overseas for esports, actually. So,
in a commentary aspect, though.
In a commentary aspect, yes, that's certainly true. But I went over in 2006 with F-Zero. We went to Stockholm and Paris and Dallas, and we went to SWC 2006 and a WSVG event in Dallas back then as well. WSVG was sort of like, I guess you could call it similar to an IEM event now, but a slightly lower scale, of course, being 2006.
Anyway, looking like teams are almost ready. So should be getting underway very shortly.
All right, Jordan, what's your prediction?
Ooh, gonna be a bit of a curveball. I don't know. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Control VP, but just from, I guess, looking at the lineups, I've got to favour P90 Elites here. As I said before, I'm a big fan of Dizzy Life, and Destiny, I think, as well, is a reasonable player, you'd have to say. So just man for man, I'm going to go for the guys from P90 Elites. Let's say 16-12 to P90 Elites.
I think it's pretty good. Like on paper, it's sort of making your point there. You definitely experience and even skill cap probably pick P90 Elites. But the thing that Control VP have on their side is they have been playing together a bit longer than Project 90, because this, of course, is a team that was constructed in the recent Oceanic Shuffle. and the
Yes.
fallout from that. So, but we are going to go to the knife round now, and we'll determine sides. Of course, the map being Mirage, as you can see on your screen. And that'll be a good one. Project 90 just came off the game on Mirage to get into this match, and we should probably note that the winner of this team secures themselves headsets.
Oh, they do, I guess. Well, yeah, cool, exciting. I suppose if you don't have a headset.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all these guys do.
Yeah, you hope so. But anyway,
we might see if someone just doesn't turn around when they probably should have. But it's B90 to pick off the knife round in the end. Probably going to switch. That's my guess. Yeah, it has. They've switched. Okay, so they're going to start off on the CT side. Obviously, the map bias it's not huge on Mirage, but it's certainly there. I'd probably say 9.6 would be about average. What do you reckon, Jordan?
yeah, I'd be looking at 9.6 probably. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly tons of options on this map here for the tourists, and I feel like they can at least make a decent inroad into into those rounds. Heading into this on the T side, can control VP, but well, we'll have to see. I think it'll be difficult for them to, I guess, get a lock down on towards mid, obviously, because Dizzy Life, you would expect, is going to be heading over there with the AWP. Might sort of float around the A and B bomb site occasionally, but generally speaking, you'd tend to see those AWPers holding down the window in mid. So, interesting dynamic coming out there. Expect lots of smokes coming in towards the mid area from Control VP.
Yeah, certainly right. The key area of the map, of course, on Mirage is always mid, and how you're able to use that as well, because the executes only go so far, really. So, in general, I would like to see Dizzy trying to AWP down mid as well. Buster, of course, is pretty handy with that AWP. We've seen him in Legacy using it on a number of occasions, even on this map. They took down Immunity on this map, Legacy that was, and he was pretty good with the AWP at that. So, but we are starting, of course, it is the Cybergamer BlasterX Cup, and this is the upper bracket final, and the winner of this goes through to the final itself. So,
Well, let's see what is going to happen here. The P90 Elites heading for a little bit of an aggressive start here, pushing a couple of people in towards mid, but Control VP not interested. They're heading over towards the A bomb site. We do see Destiny grabbing one. Is traded out there, but Nick is now looking like Buster should grab one, which he does onto Gaza from, or up there rather, on the stairs. The bomb going down here as well. Some good smokes coming out for Control VP. They've got some decent positioning here on this bomb site, and really this round should be theirs if they don't make too many mistakes. Dizzy Life, though, trading one back. Let's see if he can find another one. He can't. Nick is going to take him down. Will take down Pixel as well. And this is looking like a relatively easy round, actually, coming out in the bag there for Control. And I think that was mostly off the back of the P90 Elites really pushing down mid and really giving up the A bomb site.
yeah, it was a little luck there, you would say, but it was well executed by Control. Also pushing into the CT spawn area really allowed them to maintain that control they had over the A bomb site. So, a little bit of luck, but well executed as well, and well deserved for that first round, and that'll really buoy their confidence a little bit as well.
Interesting here from Control VP, 4 rifles instead of a few SMGs.
I'm probably a little bit scared of the eco from P90 Elites. These guys are sharp, so you wouldn't want to be discounting their pistols too much, so I can be sure that's why they'll be doing that. Outside of that, it's a fairly standard default, although very defensive on the A side, so P90 though, they're not really pushing anywhere so far. They just want to sit back and see how Control are going to play this one.
Yeah, Control just trying to work mid and B just a little bit here. They do have some reasonable control here now towards mid and short from Coke. So they look like they're going to be able to set up relatively easily for a B execute here. And that's probably good for them because P90 Elites, they've only got a couple of players over there. It's, what is it, Gaza and one other. Gaza and Pixel, I believe. So really not a whole lot of a defense over there. Not anything like a stack or something for the P90 Elites to work with. So should be a relatively easy entry onto this B bomb site here for Control VP. We'll see how it works out for them. They've got a boost. It is going to be Saar, though, to find the first frag there onto Gaza. He also grabs Pixel, and they are going to get the bomb down here with relative ease coming out for Control VP.
Yeah, this should be all done and dusted at this point. 5 alive on Control VP and 3 just left on P90 Elites. And they're all sitting in the shop area. They're just hoping for someone to push, but at this moment, there's nobody really doing it. The Buster takes a little bit of damage there, but nothing to be concerned about. And out they come, and this should be all over Red Rover at this point. I think there is a few who just want to go for a little bit of exit frags potentially here. It's someone floating the mid connector. It's Matt CD. Let's see what he can come up with. And Dizzy Life holding a nice little angle. He gets one good headshot from him, but it should be all done now. We can see Soy Good picking up him as well. So As we expected, the second round, of course, going towards Control VP. The eco coming out from P90 Elites. It looks like they're going to do another eco again. Probably full as well. Just some P250s coming out.
Yeah, actually really good second round there coming out from Control VP. They only dropped that one gun, so getting that bank rolling up just a little bit, only having to rebuy for one person, and they'll be able to use that later in this half. But for the moment, they are starting to make their way out on towards mid. They've got a couple of AKs to work with now, so just a little bit of extra firepower on top of those Galils. Oh, a really nice push coming out here from Gaza. He's going to be able to find Buster. That is going to be a Galil in his hands. Unfortunately for him, not an AK, but still, I think he'll take it.
It certainly will there. They're probably going to see if we can do a little bit of damage there. Sarah's caught at the top of mid. He has backup though in form of Coke, but they're trying to pick him off there. He's on 7 HP. Coke managed to get down both of those players, neutralising that threat. It's just Gazza left alive with his Khalil, and Nikas is going to find him and take him out with the headshot from the AK-47. So again, a good round from Control VP, only losing the one gun in that scenario. And we can see that Buster is a little low on cash, but other than that, they'll certainly be able to buy at the end of the second round. P90 Elites opting to go big in the first gun round that we have here. Dizzy and Pixel both picking up the AWP.
Yeah, I would say Gaz would probably be a little bit disappointed with the later stages of that round there. He probably would have wanted to pick up a few more frags, get the economy hurting just a little bit for Control, but in the end it's not going to be the case, and we are going to see the full buyout from both teams anyway, so what does it matter in the grand scheme of things? The smoke's trying to come out here into the window room, but a couple of failed ones for Control VP. Finally they get it right, and now they can start to get a bit more control in towards the mid area. We do see Dizzy already rotating off just a little bit that window. Destiny with a nice push there into a main. He's going to find Nickers. They're already a player advantage in this first rifle round here for P90 Elites.
Pixel has to watch out here. He's holding a very close line, but unbeknownst to him, around the corner is Sar. He's sitting at the top of the ladder room there, so he's got to watch out in this scenario that he doesn't get done.
Well, Destiny just slowly but surely pushing in towards mid through this connector. Is pretty happy actually just to sit in the connector and spot out towards mid and short, while the rest of the Control VP guys are actually moving towards the A-bomb site. It looks like it's going to be a 3 versus 3 as they try to enter this bomb site. Star, though, yeah, in an interesting position here, could be able to catch a couple of rotators across as well. So this round might not be over just yet.
So good coming out with the pick here. He's trying to get off Matt CD at spawn. He takes the shot but doesn't hit it. Matt CD is going to have to delay here for his teammates. Destiny pulls up from the stairs. He gets one. He comes up, he gets the second, and space for the third. Doesn't get a Buster, picking him off.
Yeah, we did see Soy Good going down in the meanwhile as well. So really good round, good defense there coming out for P90 Elites, and they pick up their first round, obviously being the rifle round. Control VP look like they will have enough money to buy again as well, so we'll be able to see 2 rifle rounds in a row here.
Yeah, you're correct there, and it's a full buy except for Buster, of course. As I mentioned, he had the lower cash, and he was the one. I think he died in both of the previous rounds before the third, so, or the fourth rather. And we can see the mid presence again is fairly strong. Some smokes and flashes coming up. Matt CD's holding a nice line here, so they're changing up how they're holding us in the mid. He puts a bit of damage down on start, but not much. At the moment, it's still a fairly tame setup for B. There's a little bit of pressure over on the B side and through the underpass as well, but nothing that is to worry the P90 Elites just yet.
A little bit of the tag going over to Gaza there on the B-bomb side, but not a whole lot to worry about. He did get a little bit of information, spotted out Nickers, I think it is, that was over there in the B apartments. But now, Control VP guys have rotated across to mid. Dizzy Life has a job to do here. Needs to find at least one frag here. The Molotov is going to come out, but a good smoke for Dizzy Life. Not going to matter in the end, though, as we do see Buster following up on that with the Tech 9 now. We do see, who is this? Matt CD pushing in towards the connector. He grabs one onto Sar, but he is immediately traded out there by Nickers. Destiny will find Nickers on the trade, and wow, great position there for Gaza. Coming around behind, taking out Coke and Soygood, and that's going to make it very difficult now in this 1 versus 2 for Buster, but a very experienced player. He'll be able to find these 1v1s relatively easily. He's going to spot out Gaza, takes him down. Now he knows exactly where Pixel is. And Pixel now, the one who has to make the move. He's going to push up onto the stairs and jump around for the information. He's got the sniper rifle, the AWP still out. He's going to spot out Buster and takes the shot. A very nice clutch coming out there from Pixel.
Yeah, well played there, getting a good angle there. Gaza rubbing it in with a little bit of friendly banter and picking up the second round for P90 Elites. But they've got to watch out because basically at this point here, so far what Control have done, they've taken it very slowly here. But what I would be expecting out of this round is they're going to have to eco. Should be a Tech 9 armor type buy, and it looks like it is.
Some smokes though.
Yeah, smokes though. So A Execute's going to come out here, and whoever's sitting across the other side of the map, Coke, he is going to come through and try and flank through the underpass here. So we expect to see that play coming out.
So the objective now here for Control VP is to get a bomb down. Let's see if they're going to be able to do that. The bomb has been dropped. Matt CD's finding a double kill. Almost looking for the triple, but Buster will close him out. In the meanwhile, we did see Dizzy Life getting a frag there, but Matt does find Buster in the end and Pixel to close it out. No bomb plant there for Control VP, so a little unfortunate for them. They did invest a reasonable amount in that round, actually. They got some Tech 9s and some smokes, so didn't really get a whole lot out of it.
Yeah, not a whole lot indeed, but they can afford to buy this round, so it's good money management from there. They're just short a couple of Molotovs or grenades, and really at this point, it looks like they're going to change it up and put a lot more focus on mid, try and launch from that mid area rather than going back to the execute. They've got to get an early frag here and work off from it. They haven't been able to do that just yet.
Yeah, some good smokes onto short there. It is going to allow the Control VP guys to get up pretty safely, but Dizzy Life with an interesting push is going to catch Sar off guard in the B apartments area. Matt CD is going to find another frag there as well, just spotting Soy Good over the smoke. Now we got a very nice there from Gaza, and everything that we see the P90 Elites do, they seem to basically just catch the back of the Control VP guys. So I don't know what is going on here, but Control VP just seem a little bit, I guess, they look like they're running around like a chicken without their head, basically, is where I'm trying to get.
Yeah, you got there in the end. That's in terms of structure as well. In Buster, and obviously it's great to have that star player, that a bit of impact player, but really, you still need that structure and that teamwork. They might have been better off staying with someone who played more with them over the course of their, their team's life. But in terms of getting caught out by positioning, that really comes down to timing and experience from your opposition player. And that's where the guys like Gaza, who's got a couple of frags into the backs of people, and Destiny as well, who have a lot of experience in that sort of area.
We can see the P90s coming out here for the P90 Elites, unsurprisingly. Gaza, someone who does tend to use that weapon quite a lot.
It's pretty strong in the right hands, and Gaza is, like you said, he's pretty good with it. So
it's a relatively standard eco here coming out for P90 Elites. They are holding some reasonably interesting positions, but they do feel relatively safe. Pixel is going to grab one there. Looking like Gaz is getting his second for the round. Does go down in the end there to Buster, but only one gun lost so far for P90 Elites. So again, another good anti-eco coming out between these two teams. With Matt City to close out the final two frags there as well onto Buster and Sar.
The economy is looking quite strong on the P90 Elites now, so all 5 weapons are up at this point. They're just going to switch around a little bit here. So Dizzy Life still running with the AWP, and now Sar is bringing one out as well. So Control VP trying to look for a different option here, perhaps going to try and pick a straight side a little bit more aggressively, and it's going to be the B side that he's going to look for.
Yeah, we haven't seen a huge amount of AWPing coming out on that terrace side so far, but there you go. Sar to find the first frag, a nice flick to take down Gaza as he jumps up to peek in towards the apartments, and that is a good start here for Control VP, so perhaps looking towards their 4th round here. Let's see what happens. It's still 4 players left alive for the P90 Elites, and they're still feeling relatively comfortable, I'd expect, after those first 5 rounds.
Yeah, they're not going to be too worried about losing a frag early. They'll certainly have enough power to bring it back off. Sar now going for the pick on the A side. Misses a shot in the split. That's going to be the go signal here for them. But they're getting shut down right now here on the A side.
Buster with a nice frag there onto Destiny. That's crucial, bringing the player advantage back. But as I say that though, Matt CD is going to find a frag. Sar trading it out. It's back to a 2 versus 2. Even numbers at the moment, but Pixel in a very nice position. Might be able to catch some of these players off guard. Does manage to grab Soy Good. Dizzy Life in the meanwhile has taken out Sar. And that is another round on the board here for P90 Elite. So 6 there in a row, actually.
Yeah, correct. It's proving to be a bit of a rort at this stage. We spoke about at the start that 9 rounds is probably about even for this map. And we're going to keep this way. We're going to look at quite a strong half from them. They've got the bank to be able to survive probably another 2 rounds without echoing. And you can see on the side of Control VP, they're pretty low on cash or board, and they don't have the best of buys.
Again, a relatively aggressive push up mid from the P90 Elites. Doesn't work out for them in this case. And we do see the first frag of the round going over to Control VP. Once again, it is traded back straight away there by Dizzy Life. If he can go down here, that's going to be huge for Control VP. He does. And now looking good here for Control. It's a 2 versus 1. They've already lost a 2 versus 1 up against... oh no, Buster actually won a 2 versus 1 against P90 Elite, so... Is looking good here for Control VP. Sa has managed to get the bomb down. Going to pop flash, but he doesn't know where Gaza is, and Gaza is going to find a very easy frag there. Now Nick is to
stick this.
Put the pedal to the metal, get there quickly, and as you say, Gaza should stick this. He is looking like he's going to be doing that, and Nick is just playing way too slowly. He's going to allow that defuse to come across, and another round again on the board for P90 Elite. So just things not really going the way for Control VP.
Yeah, P90 are just really pulling through in the end of round scenarios. I mean, we've seen the 2 or 3 occasions where Control VP should have closed that around. I haven't been able to just yet. So P90 Elite's really just showing their experience and their skill. They're coming through in the later parts of the round and closing them out for them. So 7 in a row now. It's looking very dangerous, but that bomb plant, of course, has allowed Control VP to get a decent buyout. Again, losing an early frag, and at least it's traded this time.
Yeah, a couple of trades going across the board, and all of a sudden, down to a 3 versus 3. Control VP seem to really place a premium on that mid area, and has been working out okay for them, but as you say, the later stages of the rounds is what's really letting them down. At the moment now, though, they are on the B bomb site, getting the bomb down. This is the first time I think that they've gone towards that B bomb site, aside from the pistol round maybe, and it seems to be working out relatively okay for them. They've got some decent post-plant positions, but again, they are going to have to hit those frags, and that's been really what's been lacking for them at the moment. Dizzy Life coming out of apartments here. He's going to be taken out. No, he's not. Knickers going down. It's Dizzy Life with a fantastic flick, and Matt CD to find Soygood. And once again, these retake situations, the later stages of the round, going in the way of P90 Elites.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Dizzy didn't die there. Away with 5 HP in the end. He certainly copped the nick there, but very sharp with the pistol. And that's what he is particularly good with as well. The fragging ability is what he's known for. So, doing his part in his team, playing his role in his team, still running with double orb set up on Dizzy and Pixel there. It's been working okay for them. Coke this time, pulling out the AWP rather than SAR. So, and again, fast mid control.
Yep, again, we are seeing Control VP starting to make their way in there. It is going to be Pixel to find the first frag of the round onto Coke in Palace, and everything going in the way of P90 Elites at the moment. Pixel on a double kill, get a triple, as we do see Dizzy and Gaza finding the other 2 frags of the round.
Yeah, excellent communication, you can tell within the P90 team, because they're just swarming onto the setups of Control, perhaps getting a little predictable on how many they're throwing into mid in each round and how they're taking it, because now it's just getting shut down brutally, in fact, by P90 Elites. And this time it looks like a cheap A execute is on the cards from Control VP. Not a lot of grenades in their hands.
9 rounds pretty on the board here for P90 Elite, so they're pretty much at their par score. Control VP really have to close out the half from here if they want to, I guess, have a comfortable feeling heading into the second half. Looks like it's going to be relatively difficult, though, as they've already lost 1 player, Matt CD. He's going to find a double kill, actually, before going down. Sa finally managing to trade him out. But Sa managed to, or did, in fact, take a little bit of damage in response. So the HP advantage just in the favor of P90 Elites, and Control VP very slow to get this bomb down, despite having control of that A bomb site.
We're scared of the threat from CT spawn, and scared they should be. It's Dizzy Life lurking with the AWP. The bomb is going down now. 35 seconds, of course, left on the clock. The rotate, the flank is coming through from Gaza as well. So really what they need to do here, P90, is they need to wait so they can pincer in all at once.
Yeah, Coke in a really nice position here, though. Is going to find Gaza very easily. Is Pixel to find Sa. Dizzy Life as well to find Buster. Coke now in a 1 versus 1 up against Dizzy Life here. He'll peek through the Molotov. Fantastic play there from Coke. And he takes Dizzy as he tries to defuse. So another round here on the board for Control VP, and that looked a little bit more reasonable in those later stages of, or I guess in the retake situation. I still think, though, that Control VP could have done it a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, you're right there. It was just cheap by though, so they did pretty well with what they had in terms of utilities. But really, at this point, the economy is not really damaged at all for P90 Elites. Next round, they might have to go on eco. Coke picking up an early pick from the apps area at A, and it's all going in favour of Control VP this round. It's like wow. Just busting into this ace. I can't even keep up. It's just that quick and clean.
Yeah, Dizzy Life, the final player here for P90 Elites. They know exactly where he is as well, I think. Maybe they don't. They seem like they're running around looking for him. And I would have thought it would be clear from the fact that he was shooting from the connector. But in the end, they are going to find him, and it's Knickers to take him down. And a very clean round coming out for Control VP there.
Yeah, bringing the scoreline back to that 9-5, and they can pick last round up. It's going to go pretty well for them. I can see them defaulting or going back to that A execute again because it's worked for them 2 rounds in a row. They're going to feel like they're going to be able to get into it, and we can see the adjustment from P90. They're expecting this at this point. They've stacked 4 towards A at the start of the round, now 1 towards mid, but the bomb, in fact, is sitting right back. They're not committing too early. Nick is picking up a early push from Destiny at the A ramp area.
I'm seeing some somewhat interesting strategies coming out here from P90 Elites. The last few rounds, they've really been pushing a little bit too aggressively. Last round, we saw Pixel getting picked off in the B apartments area. But let's see what Dizzy can do with the pistol, finding 1 frag there onto Sar. And again, that round, we just saw Destiny pushing straight into A main, not really trying to hide his footsteps. So I think at the moment, it seems like P90 Elites are gifting Control some frags. There's going to be a frag there, though, going over to Control BP, as we see Soy Good starting to push out. Matt CD now the one on the A-bomb side, trying to hold off against 5. And he is going to go down in the end, but did manage to do quite a lot of damage. And that is the first half going over to P90 Elites. 10-5 the scoreline. I feel they maybe could have got to 11-4 if they hadn't sort of, I guess, thrown in quotation marks a couple of those rounds there.
Big words, fighting words they're throwing around there, Jordan. I know what you're saying. You know, they took a lot of risks. They felt obviously with confidence, and this is a team that's going to play once. If all of them are on in a scenario in a map, they're going to be brutal performance. But yeah, possibly a little overconfidence, overextending. But we can see the pistol around there. It's going to be some sort of execute coming through pretty quickly. Interesting enough, Dizzy running with the Deagle armor setup.
We are again going to see the mid-aggression coming out from the CTs. Obviously, this time it's Control VP, but certainly mirroring the strategy that P90 Elites were able to use on their CT side now. But it is looking like the terrorists once again starting to get a little bit of an advantage. But as I say that, Buster chiming in with 2 great headshots from the USP. Should be able to find another one here. Let's see. Pixel goes down to Buster. And now a 1 versus 3. He does manage, or Destiny rather, does manage to find a frag there onto Poke. Looking like he's going to get a second onto Buster actually, but he's down to 5 HP. The reload comes out for Nickers. And an easy close there for Control VP. So picking up a relatively crucial pistol round.
Yeah, it's certainly very good, or will hold them in good stead in trying to close down this margin, 10-6 being the margin at this point in time. And the force buy coming out from P90 Elites, it's the Tech 9 armor. And again, like you said, we saw in the first half, there's quite a number of rifles on the side of Control VP.
Oh, Destiny, what? I was going to say, he took a big amount of damage from that scout, but he didn't care. Anyway, it doesn't really matter because we are going to see Control VP going for a little bit of eco slaw, but still a bit of excitement coming out there from Destiny.
Yeah, it was quite a nice shot with the Deagle. We know how dangerous he can be fragging-wise, and he's showing us exactly why there. But he's got a lot of work to do, 12 HP and 4 opponents. That's only 3 HP he can lose. He gets 1 headshot, flicks on for the second, doesn't quite hit it there, lurking, and of course the backup comes through and shuts it all down. So pretty good round in all there for Control VP.
Yeah, pretty, I guess, reasonable eco out for P90 Elites thanks to Destiny. They got 2 guns out of their hands, so, you know, pretty, I guess, pretty even, I guess, in terms of that round. But now we're going to see the full eco coming out here for P90 Elites, and they're just looking like they want to rush B, don't stop. You know, that strat, that one that I love. And the grenade here is going to do a little bit of damage to Destiny, not too much. Buster, though, does need to be careful that he doesn't get overwhelmed. He's going to find the first 2 frags there, finding a third, looking for a 4th. It's going to be Sar, though, to find that one, and there is the 4K for Buster. Almost getting the 5K, but the final kill being stolen there by Sar.
I don't think he'll mind too much.
No, I mean, it was an eco, so...
Yeah, eco. A very nice shutdown, nonetheless. And good use of utilities there. That rush just got absolutely stopped in its tracks there by some good flashes, and then that Molotov coming through, and it really, from that point, it was all over. The setup now for the CTs, we've got a singular AWP on Coke, and he is sitting in that mid-window area, trying to get something happening from there, but he's going to get smoked. No, they missed the smoke, actually.
Yeah, Buster spotting out Destiny there and firing a couple of shots off. Is Destiny to reign supreme in that duel. And the bomb is going to be planted relatively shortly here by P90 Elites, as we see Easy Life as well, managing to find one onto Sar. So the A site players are the ones who are still alive for Control VP. They have managed to find Pixel, who was doing a bit of a decoy actually on that A bomb site as the bomb went down on B. And Doesn't look like they're too keen for a retake here, and certainly can't blame them in a 4 versus 3. Retaking the B-bomb site is always going to be extremely tough. Now looking like the P90 Elites are wanting to hunt final players from Control VP, get a few guns out of their hands.
Yeah, and it's a smart play as well. Really, that was a quick round. It's something I've noticed that Destiny in particular, as an individual, and his teams that have been involved in, like to really try and work the B-bomb site on Mirage. They think it's somewhere that you can... It just kind of suits his style of getting, pick and roll kind of plays, the contact plays, and he's pretty good at getting entry frags into that B bomb site. I can expect to see him sitting over towards the B side quite frequently this half.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it looks like Destiny is going to be heading over to that B-bomb site once again, so maybe you're right with that call. The smoke here, he's going to push it actually. That's what he did last round, and he caught Buster off guard, but Buster this time not electing to take the duel. I think they're trying to set up a little bit of a bait here. If Destiny decides to push a bit forward, he's going to have to deal with the crossfire of Sar and Buster, but the moment he's just content to sit there in the apartments and wait for the rest of his team. And a bit of a, I guess, a default setup at the moment for P90 Elites, so they are going to start to push out onto that side. A trade goes across Buster this time, finding the better of Destiny. Dizzy Life is going to find a double kill there. Nick is going down. Coke has managed to find Pixel, but Matt CD is going to take down Sar. So at the end of all of that, the player advantage here for the terrorists, and both the counter-terrorists, rather, over at the A-bomb side. It is going to be Buster to take down Dizzy Life, so bringing it back to a 2 versus 2. But still, a 2 versus 2 retake on the B-bomb side is not an exciting prospect for the CTs, I dare say.
Especially with Coke only on 15 HP. They are going to go for it, though. They need to get into this match at some point, so this is the point of them to do it. Buster coming in, gets that one after getting... Coke was taken down, so 39 HP left on him, and he's going to play off the short here. All Gaza has to do is play the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, Gaza really shouldn't lose this round from here. Buster doing what he can, but... in that kind of a situation, there's only so much you can do. He's going to have to fall back here and picks up the AWP at the very least for Control BP, but again, another round going over to P90 Elites. They're 12 rounds now on the board, so getting within striking distance of the map.
Yeah, this is where it starts to quickly get out of control for Control VP. They're going to lose their control, in fact. And the eco is probably going to have to come out at this point, I would say. Yeah, a little bit of armor being bought, that's okay, because the round loss bonus will start to pick up. So it's playing out pretty similarly to the first half thus far. The first few rounds going the way of Control VP, and then P90 coming through on the buy rounds. Dizzy coming through to the B-bomb side. Nice and quick there. He's got it as well. The A stack was down. A couple of eco frags going busts, left and right, and we're left with a 2 versus 2 scenario. So they could probably go for this. Buster has AWP and HP for it. And armor, so we could potentially see this happen.
They do need to, I guess, find a gun for Sar first. Would be a good idea, but it doesn't seem like
it's going to take too long for him to find a gun and then go for it. So
I'm just going to fall back here. Sar, of course, going to be able to save that AK as well. So really, in the end, I think it was a relatively reasonable eco for Control VP. They managed to save the AWP, save the armor and the utilities there on Buster, as well as find a rifle there for Sar. So pretty good for them, and they actually did take 3 guns out of the hands of P90 Elites. So. Not too bad.
Yeah, no, I'd certainly give it a pass mark, that's for sure. 13-8 is the scoreline now, and slowly but surely the grip on the map from P90 is tightening up, and a lot of the momentum in their favour. The last 3 rounds in a row, all gun rounds going in their favour. Coke running with the AWP this time, and rifles across the board. Dizzy still running with the MAC-10, so he's probably going to look to get up into someone's faces nice and close and use the range of the MAC-10, where it's not going to get outweighed by a rifle.
Once again, going to be seeing Destiny heading over to the B-bomb site. This time, doing a little bit of a backup from Dizzy Life. And these two seem to play quite a lot together, I guess, in this sense. They sort of back each other up. We've seen them head over towards the apartments together a few times already on this T side. So just backing each other up on these entries.
Yeah, Dizzy Life's going to be the bait in this scenario for Destiny with only that MAC-10 involved. But interestingly enough, the push from the CT side as well, you've got So Good. He's coming all the way back. He's pushed right up through mid, coming up from Connector as well as NKZ, and they're going to push behind Destiny here as well. So they'll know what's up. The bomb is back at A side, and it's all going to be up to Sar to hold this and stave off this attack.
Really good. He's going to find Destiny there peeking in from the apartments, also managing to take down Dizzy Life there. So a good kill for him, opening up this round here for Control VP. Coke is going to get a frag there onto Matt CD, who basically just peeked into his crossfire, or into his crosshair, I think is the word I'm looking for. Gaza going to burn alive there to Sar. A good trade actually coming out there for the terrorists there. Gaza taking down Coke after Coke managed to find Pixel. And it is a 1 versus 2, but this is still winnable here for Gaza if he hits some quick shots, which he doesn't. Nickers takes him down, and the bomb will be defused here for the Control VP guys.
Well, it's good strategy or good thought behind the strategy from P90 Elites, but Control pushed up mid and that really just stopped them from... basically, Control had all the information about what P90 Elites were doing before P90 were able to do that, so they're really all over it. And when the rotate should have gone across, we saw the Control VP were actually doubling back down onto the A site, rotating back towards it. So interesting concept. It wasn't able to be executed. Control VP had the perfect solution to it in terms of a mid push.
Yeah, we are looking like Dizzy Life. Oh, he's going to peek in towards Sar, but Sar is going to peek out and spot his leg. Takes down a relatively easy frag, all things considered there. And it's a 4 versus 5. Once again, Control VP getting a bit of an advantage here in terms of the pairs. But
and
we
map
have
control as well.
Yeah, but we have seen P90 Elites come from behind so many times.
And this time it's looking like a fairly standard setup. Although Buster picking up the first entry or counter entry frag there, rather, on the B-bomb site. And the bomb now as well. So that's going to call a rotate. It's just Pixel left. He was the lurker. He picks up Sar, but NKZ managed to trade him out pretty well there as well. So starting to look like a pretty good lockdown from Control VP, and they're slowly bringing this match back up to it's 13-10 now in P90 Elite's favour, but they have to eco this one as well after losing 2 rounds on the trot.
The eco coming out here, so looking like 13-11. Things going down to the wire almost, and it's good to see.
Yeah, this is just going to be an A execute to get the bomb down, but it's not working. NKZ is in the right zone here. He's from the A side, picked up 3 already, including 1 with the Molotov. Gaza and Destiny last alive, but the bomb down is in the side as well. So the attempt to get a frag, a plant rather, hasn't worked. Ooh. Gaza with the 1D. Yep. What about the R8? What are your thoughts?
I think it's stupid. Even still, even despite the nerfs, I don't think it's got any place in this game. So
that's reasonable. Yeah, it was ridiculously overpowered.
It was horribly overpowered before, and I still think it's been.
It is a little broken. I stopped playing like entirely. 2 smokes at the top of mid this round as well. But what they don't know, P90 don't know, is because they haven't put anyone in mid, is the aggression that coming from Soygood. He's lurked right up nice and close here. He's going to get taken down by Dizzy. They lined up for him there as well.
Yeah, looking pretty good here for P90 Elites, but that's a great shot coming out from Coke. He's going to make things just a little bit more reasonable for Control VP. Destiny not too pleased with that one. Coke taking out Dizzy Life there as well. So looking good now once again for Control. But as I say that, Gaza is going to take down Sar. It's a 3 versus 2, and things starting to really heat up as we head into the later stages of this map, because both teams really starting to, I guess, put the foot to the floor, so to speak, and really start to try and close it out. Matt CD is going to find one onto Buster there, and P90 Elite's looking poised to find their 14th round here. All up to Coke. He's already found 2 pretty good frags in this round, but again, 1 versus 3, especially when you're an AWPer on 33 HP, is never going to be easy. Gaza will close him out there as well, so 14 on the board for P90 Elites.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I can understand the Destiny's gripe with not getting that kill on Coke there in the window. His bullets look like they're going directly on his head, but you know that 0.2 millimeter of concrete there was evidently stopping that as well. So Dizzy Life on the AWP on the terrorist side now. Looks like the bomb's heading towards B, and it looks, I guess, Pixel's up there as well, and joining him is, in fact, Destiny. So they're going to be working this B, try and shut down Buster there.
As we've, I guess, already mentioned previously, Destiny, a big fan of working towards this B bomb site. Pixel is going to be spotted out there by Sar. He goes down. Destiny trying to go for the frag, or go for the trade, I guess, but he gets dropped down to 2 HP. Needs to be very careful. He's still sitting there in the apartments, though, so he's keen for more.
He certainly is, and Buster is not having much of a Destiny. He's got to watch out for that Molotov. Can't get any damage at all, but he puts a little bit of just down in the minds of Control VP, I think.
Oh,
there.
Matt CD. He was hiding behind firebox there, and really not a good to be stuck as we see the grenades raining in on him and just destroying him. Poke having spotted out Dizzy Life here as well. It's looking like they're going to go for an AWP duel. It's Dizzy Life to win it. And bringing it back to a 3 versus 3, but the HP so low for everyone on Control VP. Gaza manages to take down Nickers there. Dizzy Life taking down Buster, and it's a 1 versus 3. The bomb will be planted here. Sa going to try and do what he can. Destiny only on 2 HP, so still a winnable situation here, but really everything in the favor of P90 Elites at the moment. Going to push through the Molotov is Sa. He takes a little bit of damage for his trouble, and he's going to be dropped there by Gaza as well. So a good round again coming out for P90 Elites. 15 on the board. They only need 1 to win the map.
Putting themselves in a very good position to move into the, well, I guess they'll have 2 chances. It's being a double elimination bracket, moving all the way through the winners bracket. They'll have 2 opportunities in the grand final if they're able to close out this round. The buy is haphazard at best from Control VP. 3 pistols and 2 rifles on their team. Looks like it's just going to be an A execute with a little bit of mid presence from Matt CD.
Yeah, Nickers going to find the first frag here on Silblet, immediately traded out by Matt CD. So all of a sudden a 4 versus 4. Interesting push coming out here from Coke. He does manage to find Destiny and pick up a rifle, but he goes down in the end to Dizzy Life. So all's well that ends well here for P90 Elites. It's going to be Gaza to find a great kill there onto Soygood. Once again finding the back of a player. And that's always going to make things easy when you're trying to find some frags. Buster is going to trade it back. It's a 2 versus 2. Now Gaza going down there. And now just a little bit of a lull, as we are going to see Matt CD rotating. He finds 1 frag there onto Buster, and it's a 1 versus 2 here. Sa now, once again in this clutch situation, he's going to have to close it out. He's got a rifle to work with. Does spot out Matt CD, but he's got a crossfire to deal with, and Dizzy Life is going to close that one out. So 16-11 the result, and pretty good prediction, I think. We said 16-10. So
yeah, I thought I said 16-11.
Pat on the back.
Yeah, no, it's good. No, it certainly was, and that's a pretty good performance there from P90 Elites, securing themselves some BlasterX headsets. I'm sure they'll be very happy with those. Some of these haven't even hit the market yet, the H7s, I believe, but they've secured themselves the H5s at least, so I'll be pretty happy with that, I imagine. And of course, going to put themselves into the position for next Cyber game, you know, CGPL, to move themselves into Division 1, which is where they'd really like to be.
Yeah, certainly would. Don't have any updates for you guys on the bracket just yet because none of the other games have finished. But obviously that is going to be Project 90 Elites moving on towards the finals. I think the next game we'll be covering is probably going to be one of the lower bracket ones until the lower bracket is done. And then we'll get back into the finals. Climax game, I think is what I'm being told, is going to be the next one. So yeah, we're still waiting, though, on the winner of Atletico and the Shovelmen for that one. So it should be a reasonably short break. So, again, not sure exactly when we'll be back.
I'd also point out that Climax Crew did beat Trident, although Trident do have a few stand-ins. So, but still, Trident going down there to Climax Crew, that's a pretty big name to drop in this bracket, or in this tournament.
All right, anyway, enough from us for now. We'll go to a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be back shortly with Climax Crew versus the winner of Atletico and the Shovelmen.